This is a topology of the cloud-native universe using the categories that were introduced by CNCF. The size of the individual squares that are representing an individual product are based on the number of contributors on GitHub to that respective project. So we see here Apache Spark with 1,500 contributors. We see GitLab with 2,000. We see here Ansible 4,962. So this is a rough overview. We see the color coding for the individual categories to the right. And based on that, we can explore this universe a little bit further. So now we're gonna turn on 3D and we move and look at it based on the number of GitHub stars for the individual categories. So let's start with serverless here because it's just right in the front. We have the serverless project with 36,000 stars. We have Hasura GraphQL, OpenFaaS, and Q+ as the projects with the most stars in that area. Then we have the various runtimes, and storage is also a part of the runtime, obviously. So we see Minio with 22,000 GitHub stars being the largest, Alluxio, Ceph, Firecracker from AWS. So yeah, so that was a quick overview over the runtimes. Now let's move into the observability. We can see we have a bunch of really large blocks here. And remember, the size of the block itself is the community size on GitHub, and the height of each block is the number of GitHub stars. So Elastic, Grafana, Netdata, Prometheus, Sentry, the stars here, the large ones. Okay, now let's look at the pink category here, orchestration. Obviously, Kubernetes has the biggest block. Let's see what else is there in orchestration. It's traffic, Dubo, etcd, Istio. Yeah, let's look at Istio here. 540 contributors, 22,911 stars. So now to the right, there's the app definition category. Let's see who's big there. Redis. So database is also counting to that category. We have Docker Compose, Apache Spark, GitLab. Okay, and yeah, the provisioning, this big block here is Ansible by Red Hat, and also a pretty big block here is Terraform, HashiCorp, and Vault by HashiCorp, Chef Infra, Puppet, and SaltStack. SaltStack actually also quite substantial, and OpenStack quite a little bit smaller. Now let's change this up a little bit, and now the C-axis is funding, so that gives us an overview of what were the biggest funded projects here. Let's take a look. So Cadence by Uber, Kraken by Uber, Athens by Verizon, and Financial. Okay, so those are really the very large ones here. Now let's zoom in a little bit. Let's see what we find here in our runtime category. Valero, Pouch, okay, Kima, SAP, Spring, Riff, Trickster. Okay, here over there in the orchestration category, Netflix, Alibaba, Sentinel. Okay. do we have here? Under app definition, OrientDB, Foundation DB, Docker Compose. Okay. Yeah, the thing is here we have a couple of really very large ones, and that's why the small ones look much smaller than they really are. So what we can do here is we can put in a bit of a filter and basically look at funding that is smaller than, let's just say, $30 million. And that will give us a much better overview, because that way we can kick out the really large ones. So now we isolate everything that's under 30 million and make that here all a lot more interesting. Look at this. Okay, so let's look what we got here. Under app definition, under 30 million, see we have Dynatrace, we have Taos Data, Veev, Works, Crate.io, ArangoDB, Yugabyte, GoCD. So those are the big guys under the app definition category, now that we eliminated all the very large ones. Let's look at provisioning. SaltStack, quite tall here. Teleport by Gravitational, Anchor, Pulumi, Juju, Canonical. Okay, let's see what we have under Observability. Grafana Labs, Grafana Loki, NetData, Litmus, Veev. Okay, moving on to runtime under storage, cloud native storage, Eluxio, Minio, VeevNet, Unic, Cubovan, and here under provisioning, Salt. Okay. Yeah, observability. And yeah, so that was a little walk through the CNCF Kubernetes categories. And in our next video, we are going to look a little bit more at everything from a IT administrator's perspective. What are the pain points and options of a IT administrator when dealing with all of this cloud native technology?